Paid internships are great for everyone. In this day and time, it is almost impossible for a college graduate to find a job in their field without some type of experience. Internships are a great way to gain experience and build their resumes before actually entering a profession. The dilemma is whether or not internships should be paid. Paying interns benefits not only the employer but also the intern. I believe that all interns should be compensated for their work and time, and paying them should not be an option, it should be necessary. The lines used to be blurred when it comes to the rules on whether or not an employer should pay an intern and hire them as an employee. So, a majority of employers have decided to err on the side of caution. In an article by the Society for Human Resources Management titled Employing Interns, in January 2018, the Department of Labor updated its guidelines and criteria for determining whether an employment relationship should exist between an intern or student. They changed from having 6 standards in place regarding how employers should use interns to having 7 standards. The Society for Human Resources Management lists the 7 criteria as follows. 1. Both parties understand that an intern is not entitled to compensation. 2. The internship provides training that will be given in an educational environment. 3. The intern's completion of the program does not entitle 3. The intern's completion of the program entitles him or her to academic credit. 4. The internship corresponds with the academic calendar. 5. The internship's duration is limited to the period when the internship educates the intern. 6. The intern's work complements rather than displaces the work of paid employees while providing significant educational benefits. 7. The intern and employer understand that the internship is conducted without entitlement to a paid job at the end of the internship. Now that we know the rules, we know that violation of these rules put an employer at risk for lawsuit. Kelsey G. from the Washington Post states that after a string of lawsuits by unpaid interns, more employers are paying interns for reasons of liability protection and competing for good talent. Rule number 6 states that an intern's work complements rather than displaces the work of paid employees, simply meaning that the work they do must not take away a job from an employee who could be paid for the exact same work. If an intern is performing a job that would normally be a paid position by an employee, then the intern is not exempt from being paid under the Fair Labor Standards Act. In an article titled Thinking About Hiring Interns, Bird and Dodds referred to employers previously using a limited exemption that was first ruled on by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1947 in Whaling versus Portland Terminal Company. This would get employers out of paying interns. Students have learned that simply obtaining a degree is not enough to land them a job after graduation. That is why internships are so important to them. More importantly, paid internships. In more recent years, students have become reluctant to accept unpaid internships. Patrick Thomas from the Wall Street Journal states that one reason is unpaid internships have been widely criticized for taking advantage of free labor and catering to students who can afford spending a summer or semester without working paid because the parents foot the bill. Students can get college credit for internships, but unless they're on a scholarship, they still pay the school for that credit. While there is a group of students that can afford to not get paid, there is also a group of students that cannot afford to not get paid. This group of students need money as well as work experience. Some of these students have financial obligations that require them to work during the summer and even during the school year. It is really disheartening to know that some students are missing out on great opportunities due to outside obligations. Thomas from the Wall Street Journal also states that some students, such as Grace O'Neill, a student at the University of Missouri, have turned down unpaid internships to hold out for paid opportunities. Interns are more motivated when they work for a company that values their hard work. More employers need to understand the value of turning internships into paid positions within their companies. Paid internships benefit both the employer and the trainee. The employer gets additional help with day-to-day operations, and the intern gains experience in their field. Dave DeVries published an article titled Paid Internships, Why They're Worth the Cost, which stated that paid internships can afford both the intern and the organization the unique opportunity to continue the relationship once the formal internship has concluded, which gives the student an advantage when it comes to job placement after graduation. Yost states that a paid internship would obviously remove the handcuffs, and it could be of long-term benefit to an employer to explore paid internships as a mutually beneficial relationships. As mutually beneficial relationship. When an employer is willing to pay an intern, they also get a better applicant pool to choose from. Students with higher GPAs are more than likely to apply for internships that they know will pay them. They know that they do not have to settle for an unpaid internship. Paying interns should not be an option. It should be mandatory. This is why we must change the way companies view internships. By not paying them at least minimum wage, employers are basically exploiting the interns. There are numerous benefits for employers and interns. It also helps benefit the economy by equipping college students with experience that will help them land a job in their position in their field of study upon graduating, which in turn lowers the national unemployment rate. I would like to think that in the future, more internships will be paid as employers begin to realize the benefits for everyone involved. We need to demand change in the laws that govern internship programs so that everyone reaps the full benefits of these programs. Thank you.